What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight! Alright, we're coming back to Broken by the Scream. Yes, indeed. Broken by the Scream fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bibbidi-bob, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from SMB, and this is actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of December for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, SMB. I hope you enjoy the show, man. SMB wanted to see me react to this. It is Broken by the Scream with a tune called, I hope I pronounced this right, Haruurara. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always the possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, hang on a second, I have heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Broken by the Scream, and surprise, surprise. And the video has 386,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Broken by the Scream. I have no idea. No clue what that says. I hope we're in the right spot. This is the link that SMB gave me, so if this is not the right thing, don't blame me. Go take it up with SMB. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Ooh. Tight. Songs all over the place as far as feel goes. We've had straight time, we've had halftime, we've had double time, we've had subdivisions that, you know, come in early on like the end of 4 to give it that illusion of going into 7, but they really didn't go into 7. It's still 4/4 time, but because they came in with the downbeat on the end of 4, it felt like 7, even though it really isn't. Playing around a lot with subdivisions, playing around a lot with feel. It's fun, it's entertaining, it is. If I'm being honest, it is a little distracting, just a little. It is kind of taking away from the song itself. I understand that what they're trying to do. I do, and they're doing it well. They are. They're trying to make the song sound more complex than it actually is, and they are succeeding. They absolutely are. But as a result, it is taking away from the song as a whole. The chordal progression, the flow of the song. It's getting janky. You know what I mean? Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? Look, I know for a fact that there are a lot of people who like songs like that. I know there are. There is that demographic, and there's nothing wrong with it, okay? I want to be very clear when I say that. I'm not trying to insult anybody when I say that, because I know that there are people who love this style of music, and that's great. I personally am not one of those people. I like a song that flows, and it's impressive. What they're doing is impressive, and how they're doing it, and as cleanly as they're doing it, it is impressive. But if I'm being honest, it is a little distracting. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, vocally. Jeez. I don't think I'm ever going to get used to their vocals. Their grit and growl is pure grit and growl. It really is, man. There's like 3 different styles of grit and growl happening in there. But there's no melodics within their grit and growl either. It's pure grit and growl in 3 different ways. And then out of nowhere, they switch to this and this is not an exaggeration, this J-pop idol style of vocals where you have constant harmonies, just constant harmonies, and always in a major, always major harmonies, happy, upbeat feel. It's so... so weird, but it works. It definitely works. And I'm glad that melodic singing is there, because if it was pure grit and growl through the whole song, I'd be hating it. I would absolutely be hating it. I really wish there was more clean vocals. Right now, the balance is like 70% grit and growl, 30% melodic singing. I really wish we could flip that and have 30% grit and growl and 70% melodic singing. That's how I just personally feel, but I prefer more melodic singing. I don't mind grit and growl. I don't. I just prefer more melodic singing compared to the amount of grit and growl. So anyway, it sounds good. It's interesting. It's definitely keeping me on my toes. Let's keep going and let's see how this goes. Now we switch up again. Those subdivisions are clean. They're so clean. It's almost... It's so clean and so tight that it's almost sterile. Almost. There's definitely life there. There is, but it's... And I know this is not the case. I know it's not programmed. I know that's not it, but it's so clean and so precise. It almost does sound programmed. Almost. Not quite though. I can still tell those are real guitars and those are real drums and that's a real bass. I can still hear it, but man, it is squeaky clean tight, man. It really is. It's not a bad thing. It's not bad at all. If it was any cleaner and any tighter, though, I would really start to question it. The second chorus that we heard, I liked how they added the grit and growl vocals on top of the melodic singing, so you had both going at the same time. That was a nice switch up. Kept the song from sounding repetitive. It kept the song from sounding monotonous. I like that. I really like that. The bridge section was nice. Yeah, I mean, like I said, my only little gripe is just the balance between the grit and growl and the melodic singing. That's really my only complaint, and the fact that they are really playing around with feel a lot, to the point where it's borderline becoming a distraction. But like I said, I know there's a market for this. I know there is. I know there are people who love this, who love that style of just abrupt, changes in feel and abrupt changes in tempo and abrupt changes in style. I know there's a market for it. Now, I'm not trying to discredit the people who like that style. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I do see the appeal, and they're doing it well. They're doing it very well. So anyway, let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say, no, you know what? I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to save everything for the review. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Broken by the Scream with a tune, and I really hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, a tune called Haruurara.
Wow, man, freaked out!
Whew, man, what a mouthful. This was a request from SMB, and this was actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of December for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, SMB. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. Okay, I already said pretty much everything I needed to say during the course of the reaction. I did get my thoughts together, and I really don't have anything else to add to it. So I'm just going to hit a couple of bullet points, and we're going to call it a day. Let's start off with the score. Now, before I give the score, I just need to pre-frame everybody, because I'm going to give the score, and then I'm going to talk about the song, and everybody's going to be wondering what in the world happened. That doesn't match up at all with the score he gave. Listen, I have said this on the channel many, many times. I don't have to love a song to give it a great score, and at the same time, I don't have to hate a song to give it a bad score. I have heard several songs on the channel that I have not been a fan of, and I've given them great scores. On the flip side, there have been songs that I've loved, and I personally really enjoyed, and I didn't give them 8s and 9s. I gave them, I think, 6s or 7s. So when I give this score, I don't want anybody to jump to conclusions. I want everybody to hear me out, okay? I promise you, if you hear me out, it'll probably make a little more sense, okay? So having said that, let's get to the score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that an 8.5. Yep, 8.5. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Plain and simple, putting personal feelings aside, this is a great song. It is. It's extremely well written, well constructed, a lot of variation. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But very well executed, squeaky clean subdivisions. Like any cleaner, and I would suspect programming, but it didn't sound digital. It sounded like real guitars, real drums, and real bass. So just super tight, like ridiculously tight and clean subdivisions. Great execution. Vocally, well done across the board. Having said all that, I don't think I was really a fan of this song. I really don't. There were parts I liked, but for the most part, I found the song to be a little distracting. I am all in favor of playing around with feel. I am all in favor of that. I am all in favor of having a tempo change or two within a song. If the song's a longer song, you want to change up the tempo, yeah, sure, go ahead. Give you an example. Look at the song "Change of Seasons" by Dream Theater. I mean, that's a 23 or is it 23 minutes or 28 minutes? It's one of the two. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Playing with feel, playing with tempo, but in a much longer song. You know what I mean? Taking a 4-minute song and switching time, like actually changing tempo, like 2 or 3 times, can be a little jarring. That's the biggest thing for me on this song, is there was a lot of distractions happening. And to be honest with you, I feel like they kind of took away from the song as a whole. Now, I am not saying in any way, shape, or form that what they did was bad. I'm giving them an 8.5 because they did it so well, so accurately. And there was a lot of variation, but there was never one time in the variation that it sounded like it was poorly organized or poorly planned, or worse, poorly executed. No, everything was executed really well. I mean, everything, they did a great job across the board. Me personally, though, I'm just not the biggest fan of it because, like I said, it felt like it was a distraction. Now, like I said earlier during the reaction, I know there's a demographic for this. I know there is. I know there are people who love that kind of music, and there's nothing wrong with it at all, okay? I know there is. I know people enjoy it, and I'm glad they enjoy it. I am. I am not one of those people. I'm just not. Like I said, I love playing around with feel. I love playing around with tempo, as long as it's not too much. And I think that was the problem here with this song for me, was it was a bit much. The constant flipping within the vocals, the grit and growls, 3 different grit and growl styles that I heard, 3 distinct styles. That was nice to a point. Again, it became a little distracting. When they would switch to the clean vocals, that was nice. I'm glad we had some clean vocal work in there. It was about a 70-30 mix though. 70% grit and growl, 30% melodic singing. I really wish we could have taken that and flipped it and had 30% grit and growl and 70% melodic singing. When they were doing the choruses, the last 2 choruses they did, they overlaid the grit and growl vocals over the clean vocals. I thought that was nice. I thought that was really well done. It did kind of break up the monotony of the song. Not the monotony, the predictability of the song. That was nice. It was a nice little distraction. But again, another distraction. You see what I mean? It just keeps adding up and adding up. But overall, I mean, like I said, the musicianship, the drums, bass, and guitar, man, whew, tight, super tight, ridiculously tight, to the point where it was squeaky clean with those subdivisions, boy. I mean, any cleaner, and seriously, I would suspect programming. But overall, it is a great song. It is, and I absolutely recognize her for being a great song. Will I ever listen to this again? If I'm being honest, folks, I very seriously doubt it. It's a little much for me. It is. It's a little much. Now, maybe if I'm in the mood for something like this, and it does happen from time to time. If I'm in a mood for something like this that is just super distracting, super technical, maybe I'll pop it in and listen to it. It is possible. I'm not going to completely dismiss it. But as far as I can see in the foreseeable future, probably not. But nonetheless, a great song, and that's why I'm giving it the great score of 8.5. It is a great score for what I feel is a great song, and that is exactly where we're going to stay. So, 8.5, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.